everyone, welcome to YAC Connects, essential conversation on signs of suicide for youth. My name is Imani and I'm part of the Youth Advisory Council. Today, presentation is super important because September is Suicide Prevention Month. Whether or not you've been directly affected by suicide, this conversation is for all youth who want to learn how to support friends and handle difficult situations. We'll also have time for questions at the end, so feel free to type them in the chat as we go along. We are going to talk about the signs of suicide and what you can do if someone you know is struggling. Before we get started, how many of you have heard of Suicide Prevention Month? Okay, this month is really about spreading awareness and making sure that everyone knows they are not alone. Even if we haven't experienced something ourselves, it's important to learn how we can help others who might be struggling.
Why is this conversation important? Suicide is the second leading cause of death for people ages 10 through 24, and numbers are rising, especially among the Black and Brown community. Between 1999 and 2017, the rates of suicide attempts among Black adolescents increased by 73%. It's important that we talk about this because it's not something we've always been open about. We're not just sharing numbers today. We're going to learn how to be there for each other. Has anybody noticed a friend or a classmate acting differently and wondered what might be going on?
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
It's really common to notice changes in behavior and not know what to say. You don't have to have all the answers, but sometimes just letting someone know that you're there for them can make a huge difference. It's okay to just say, hey, I've noticed you've been quiet recently, and ask if everything's okay. It might feel awkward, but showing that you care is what matters. There are a lot of signs that someone might be struggling with thoughts of suicide. It's not always obvious, but if you notice a friend withdrawing from others, losing interest in things that they usually enjoy, or talking about feeling hopeless, it's time to check in. Maybe they're sleeping a lot more or a lot less. They just don't seem like themselves. Those are big warning signs. If you notice any of these signs, the most important thing to do is to take action, even if you feel uncomfortable.
What are some things you think might make someone more at risk for suicide?
Going through stuff at home, getting bullied.
Or maybe struggling with pressure and relationship with friends or feeling alone because you don't have any.
Exactly. Things like bullying or feeling alone can really put someone at risk. It's important to remember that we don't always know what's going on in someone's life. So be kind and check in on people can help a lot. Mental health struggles, family problems, and even social media pressures can all contribute to how someone feels. Have you ever wondered how to start a conversation? Talking to a friend about their mental health can really be tough. But the most important thing you can do is ask directly, are you okay? Or are you thinking about hurting yourself? It can feel awkward or scary, but trust me, it's better to ask. You could save a life just by starting the conversation. If they say yes, don't panic. The next step is to make sure they're not alone and help them get to the support they need. What are some things you think? Wait, hold. Okay. What do you think, does talking about suicide with someone make them more likely to think about it? Yes or no?
I feel like it would. I've been kind of scared when people have talked about killing themselves because I don't want to make them want to do it more.
Fair point. Well, if the answer is yes, I totally get why you think that. It might make things worse. But the truth is, talking about suicide actually gives people an opportunity to open up. Sometimes they don't know how to start the conversation themselves. And by bringing it up, You're showing that you care and that you're someone they can talk to.
If a friend said something that worried you, how would you start a conversation with them?
I'd maybe just tell them to, or at least give them the opportunity to talk more about it and just kind of listen to them.
Yeah.
What about you, EJ?
I just let them know that I can sit and listen, and if they need an answer, I have an answer, and if not, then I'm just there for support.
Yeah, I love that. Just showing someone that you care can mean a lot. Sometimes it's not about having the perfect words, but just being there and letting them know you're listening. You could even say, "You don't have to talk right now, but when you're ready, I'm here." Giving them space and showing support can help them feel more comfortable opening up.
I agree.
Youth violence is a major public health issue that affects not only victims, but also their families, witnesses, perpetrators, and their communities. However, youth violence is preventable, and innovative programs across the
How you could help offer support. If someone tells you they think they're suicidal, if someone tells you they're thinking about suicide, the best thing you can do is listen. Don't judge them or try to fix it. Just listen to them and let them know they're not alone. Offer to help them talk to a trusted adult or reach out to a professional. And most importantly, don't leave them alone if they're in danger.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about how you can help connect your friends with the right resources.
I think that's really important, yeah.
There are so many resources out here. One of the easiest ways to get help is to call or text 988, the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. But it's also super important to connect with people you trust, like a parent, teacher, or coach. You don't have to go through this alone. We also created something for our community, the Power of One app, where you can connect with trusted peers without involving law enforcement right away.
Is that app like on Apple Store that we could get?
Yes, and if you go to the YAC website,
Mm-hmm.
you can. There should be a link in the YVPC YAC in Facebook. If you go to our account, there should be a link in the bio.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
I also have another question. How would you guys start the conversation with a teacher and an adult?
I don't really know. I feel like, in my experience talking to people at my school and my teachers, it's kind of brought up mixed feelings, but there's a connection there because everybody knows somebody who's struggling. So just taking that first step of saying, hey, I'm not feeling okay because of this, that, and the third, or I'm struggling and I need help. I feel like if we come together and we just depend on each other, like a neighborhood can do more than just one person. And that's what that app is about, right? You can use resources to connect with other people and build upon each other and be the change that we want to see.
Yeah, definitely.
Mental health is something that has affected so many of us, including my closest friends. The first time you notice something is off, that's when you should speak up. I asked the uncomfortable conversations, and she felt alone even though she knows she wasn't. I didn't invalidate her feelings, though. I listened, and I let her know I would be there for when she was ready to finally ask for help. When we asked that, "Are you okay?" we were able to get our peers help before it's too late. You never know when someone might be going through something, but you can always be the one to reach out.
Was it scary talking to her?
Yeah, at first, but when you're really just listening and understanding how they're feeling, you kind of see what led them to that point.
So just having an open ear and being there to
Open-minded.
support. Yeah. What do you think, Wayvon?
I think the same thing. I feel like the best thing you can do is be there for them and listen off, and also offer help and support. You feel me? And let them know you're there for them. But we also have the Power of One app that people can go to online, download it, scan the link, whatever. But we have people in the community that can come to you and talk to you about this. And you feel me? There's help, there's resources. We have all that you need.
What if it's like not like me thinking that I'm gonna because like a lot of different things go into wanting to not be in this world, like feeling like hopelessness or feeling like you don't have enough. So could that app, like, say I have to feed my family of like 4 and my mom's out of town, my dad's not around, and I don't even have a job, I'm 13, I can't do anything. Does that app like help me in some way about that?
Yeah, we have people in the community, the peer navigators, and that's also the Power of One app as well. We have people in the community you can reach out to, and they'll come and give you what you need, whatever, no matter if it's mental health or homework schedule and stuff like that. You feel me?
Oh,
We
like
can-
tutoring? Yeah.
Yeah, like
Wait, that would be
tutoring.
so dope. Because then, like, if I'm, like, not doing well at math and have, like, a C minus in my class, then maybe I could, like, ask for help on my school.
But yeah, the point is, yeah, we have people in the community who can help you on the Power of One app. We have the resources. Just either call 988 or use the Power of One app.
Yeah, while it's important to always help others, we don't want to forget to take care of ourselves. It's okay to step back and, ask yourself, how am I doing? How am I feeling today? And if you are feeling overwhelmed, there's no shame in reaching out. We have to make this the norm. Things like exercising, journaling, or just talking to someone you trust can always make you feel better. Taking care of our mental health is just as important as taking care of our physical health.
But what about, like, if I want to spread awareness, if it's not just me?
Well, you don't have to be an expert to do so. Just sharing what you learned today can make a difference. Be the person who isn't afraid to talk about mental health, and you never know, your words can make a real difference in someone's life. Let's all work together to make sure our friends and community have the support that's needed.
It's pretty cool. Now we'll open up for questions. For anybody here, do you have any questions about what we just talked about?
Oh, I'm good.
Do you?
Um,
Jordan and EJ?
not really.
Okay.
Closing and call to action. Thank you so much for joining us today for this essential conversation on suicide prevention. We hope you'll feel more equipped to support to support your friends and know the signs. If you are someone you know is struggling, don't wait. Reach out for help. Before we wrap up, it's important to know where you can turn if you or someone you know is struggling. Mental health challenges and thoughts of suicide are not something anyone should face alone. That's why we're providing a list of resources for support. First, we have the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. Simply dialing 988 connects you with a trained counselor ready to listen and help 24/7. Another great resource is the Crisis Text Line. You can text HOME to 741741 for free support through the text message, which can sometimes feel more comfortable than talking. We also want to highlight a tool created by for young people, the Power of One app. This app is unique because it was developed by youth right here in our community. The goal is to provide a safe place for youth to connect with trusted adults, get help, and access resources without automatically involving law enforcement. This app is different from Safe to Tell, focusing on youth-led support systems, mental health, homelessness resources, and job opportunities. Whether it's attending community events, finding job listings, or reaching out to helplessness, help. Okay, my bad. I'm kind of losing my train of thought. But yeah. The Power of One app offers multiple pathways for support, and importantly, it's run by youth, for youth. As we close, remember these resources are here for you. Whether it's through a national helpline, a local counseling service, or even the Power of One app. Help is always just a click or a call away. Let's keep looking out for each other and continue to spread the message that no one should feel alone in their struggles. You can also download the Power of One app for more resources and connections. And be sure to follow YAC on social media for more events like this.
Yes.
Stay connected, stay supportive, and remember, you are never alone.
Thank you so
have
much for this
the
conversation.
YAC, the Power of One app.
Yes. Of course.
Unless anyone wants to say a prayer with me, we can start there.
Okay.
Anyone want to start a prayer with me? Oh,
Sure.
never mind.
Is a major public health issue that affects not only victims, but also their families, witnesses, perpetrators, and their communities. However, youth violence is preventable, and innovative programs across the U.S. are lighting the way. CDC's National Centers of Excellence in Youth Violence Prevention, or YVPCs, are academic community collaborations that advance the science and practice of youth violence prevention. Working together with communities, YVPCs develop, implement, and evaluate strategies to prevent violence and create protective family and community environments. Understanding that there is no single solution to youth violence, YVPCs apply comprehensive prevention approaches that address multiple risk and protective factors that support families, empower youth to choose safe, healthy behaviors, connect youth to caring adults and activities, and build healthier, safer communities. With positive results throughout the country, YVPCs are leading the way to reducing violence and creating safe, stable, nurturing communities for all youth to thrive. To learn more, visit www.cdc.gov/violence-prevention/YVPC.
Hi everyone, welcome back. I apologize we didn't see some of the comments on YouTube. But thank you so much, Wally World, for what you said. I'm glad that you like it. We had a comment from Beautiful Beast. Has any one of you guys had a person you knew who died by suicide? How did you deal with it because they're struggling to cope? I can answer after you guys.
I had a friend, he was like a brother to me. He had passed away from suicide. How I deal with it, really, I just prayed a lot. Try to keep my head up, stay out the way. I really didn't talk to anybody. I just went through it by myself. But I'm glad that we have resources now to help us go through that type of stuff. Because at that time, I didn't know what to do or who to go to. So I kind of just kept it to myself and just let it eat me alive inside. And just, But now that I know we have resources, it kind of helps me.
Yeah, I personally haven't lost somebody, but I know people who have. It really took a toll on their mental health, and they didn't have the resources that we have today, to reach out for help and ask. To cope with it, I would say, take that first step and recognize, like, what made you feel this way, and go to somebody who isn't a trusted adult. You don't have to go to, like, a professional, say like a therapist, if you're not that comfortable yet, but like starting with the Power of One app is your first step.
Yeah, most recently, which is kind of weird, getting into this organization, I've lost 8 people to suicide. Not specifically close to me, but close to a lot of my family members. And I've even had one of my family members say that they were going to commit suicide. So, I mean, it's not the most fun thing to be around, but just making sure that you're strong for them and showing them that there is a reason to live, I guess. Do you want to take us out, Quibble?
We do have a question to ask.
Oh, we have another question?
So the question was, I believe, what are you doing now to cope with the loss of your friend?
I'm not.
Like, to them, not you.
Okay.
What am I doing now?
Yeah.
Well,
To-
I'm
To,
Huh?
to the people on YouTube.
to the
That
people.
was the question, back to the person that asked the question.
Oh, okay. Well, what am I doing now? To be honest, I've been talking to people.
Oh, ask them.
Yeah, so we're asking the person that gave us the comment.
Oh, what are you doing now to help with the?
What are your resources? Like, what resources do they have now that they're able to use or able to get to, contact to, that they're using now?
The resources?
No, why? We're asking them.
Okay, so beautiful beast. I just want to ask you, what is some resources that you have or how you're coping with the things that you're struggling with currently? If you want to just type it in the chat, then I can read it out loud to everyone.
They come?
Not yet, but we have some other things from Tweak with Tony 28 and Wally World and Big Money. But we'll just wait a few seconds for Beautiful Beast to respond.
You can.
I want to just highlight Tweak with Tony, who said that this is so needed. Thank you for having this for us. They asked, how can I join? Can I just get a clarification on what you mean about joining the YAC or joining the movement in suicide prevention?
Well, you can't join the act. I'm kind of full, but there is a way you can join, like helping us promote the Power of One app and giving people other resources and helping people out. You know, so that's a start there.
Mm-hmm. We also got a response from Beautiful Beast. They said that they talk to their homies and they read their Bible. So
They read their Bible.
they read their Bible.
Okay, I'm glad y'all read y'all's Bible. We're going to say a prayer at the end of this, but I can't say it on here just because of circumstances and stuff. But
Okay.
I hope everybody say a prayer after this. But, alright, my bad. I'm getting a little off topic, but
Okay.
y'all get the point.
We have one more thing from Wally World. They said, what are y'all dealing with that would make you want to take your lives? I feel like we talked about this a little earlier, about some things that make people feel like they no longer want to be on earth, like hopelessness or just feeling like you have no purpose in life. But I just want to reiterate that we're all here for each other, so just keep an open ear for each other. Talk to your friends, check up on them, make sure they're okay.
Yeah, I would like to add on to that. I'll say other reasons why people might want to take their life is probably because, like, family drama or drama at school, maybe being bullied or, feel me, relationships, or family trauma, you feel me? But, you know, I feel like a way you can look out for that is, like, maybe talking to someone or going to the app or directing someone to go to the app or text 988, you know, whatever it may be. But there's resources. We have resources to help people go through stuff like that. Any more questions?
Yeah, I have one question. Do you think it's harder nowadays to live as a youth or back in the day? Well, I'll leave that one first. Do you think it's harder nowadays to live as youth or back in the day? Which one? Back in the day or now?
I would
What
say
do you mean?
no.
What do you mean by back in the day? Like
Like
back
you know,
in
like
our day or
not
our
back
sense?
in our day is still here.
No, I'm talking about
Our
like
generation
So
was.
I feel like
the
we
question
can't answer that
that
because we
you-
weren't there. Back
You
then.
can
Yeah, but
answer
like
that.
you can see the after effects of
You
how
know
like
what?
your parents' generation, like, oh, I had to walk.
So to
through
answer that
mountains and-
question,
I would
Like
say
everyone's
now.
parents says that.
I
back
would
in the
say no as
day,
well.
it was a lot easier because a lot of teenagers. So, for instance, my grandmother got her first apartment when she was 16. It's harder to get an apartment nowadays because most of the rent, you can't work a job until you get to 16.
Yeah.
And then you have to save up the money to get the apartment, plus have the first month's rent, plus have this, plus have another. It was easier back in the day just because a lot of things were more simpler to get their, it was easier to get a car. It was easier to get apartment. And back in the day, it probably didn't feel like that. But if we compare that to now, it's a lot easier from what they had to go through to what we're going to have to go through.
Can I add
I
on
have
to
a
that?
wait. I'm sorry. We got a little bit of a time period. It's from the early 2000s to now. So think that time.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
You
Well,
said your
no.
grandma.
Yeah,
well,
that's different.
grandma, but my dad was in the 2000s. He got his
But-
first apartment at 16 too.
Oh.
What the heck?
Oh.
So your
Yeah.
people are just.
I also think
I can promise you that's not how my family was. Like, I don't know if I could answer that because I feel like I wasn't there. Like, I don't know. And I hear, like, stories like my dad tell me, for example, and I'm like, jeez, like, I don't know how you
That's
get out of
crazy.
that.
That's crazy.
Right, like,
What
you
do
know what I
y'all
mean?
think?
Just like,
Oh, sorry. What do y'all think?
I wanted to add on to that. I feel like back in the day was way more easier and stuff. Because it's like, people nowadays, let's just talk about the community. People nowadays, what happened to fighting? Like, I don't like violence, you know, but people, they don't like fighting anymore. They just be using guns and stuff. I don't think back in the day, people used to fight back in the day. Like, early 2000s, there was fights everywhere. But nowadays, it's like everybody's just resorts to just guns. You feel
That's
me?
so fair, and I feel like that's one of the reasons why, like, just being a youth right now is, like, so difficult because we have social media that makes it seem as though, like, everything is so personal when really nobody cares about you. No, and really, when really it's not that serious. I feel like people just are so caught up on street cred or feeling like everybody's watching them.
Yeah.
We're here for you,
100%.
listening to you, making sure you're okay, but yeah.
Yeah, I want to build off. I felt like social media is a super big factor that has changed it because, you know, like back then technology wasn't as popular as it is now. Like now we wake up, we check our phones, you know, we are constantly wanting to fit in, and that can also just like lead to suicide, which could possibly make it harder to want to fit in.
what was the second part of the question?
The second part of the question was, does social have a vital impact on your life?
Yes. I
Yeah.
think that's
Yeah.
like when we're talking about like whether things are worse like then versus now. I think social media is what could be making it worse.
Yeah, I think everybody just be trying to be so cool for the internet and be so hard for the internet and all types of stuff. Everybody just want to be so perfect on the internet, and I feel like that's not being yourself. Like, you know, because people want to build an image to look great in front of another person. That's what I feel like social media is, making all these posts and do. Now I can understand if you're just with your friends, chilling, taking pictures, whatever. But people like do too much, and that also impacts youth's mental state because then they feel like they got to be super hard and super tough, and then they just get to texting on social media. That's also what creates violence as well, stuff like that.
To add on to that, like the not being yourself, like even not knowing internet meme or like reference around your friends or something could make you feel like awkward or like left out. And it's like it's so small, but just small examples like that, like they can build up.
Yeah. And I feel like you were saying, Vaughn, about like our mental state and wanting to be perfect or wanting to be like what everybody else is. We have just like a front, and then we think that we have to match that, and that could make it hard for people to like feel like they're living okay. But just understand being yourself is okay enough. It's okay enough, and if not, then there's resources to help you to be yourself.
Alright, can I add on to that?
Yeah, of course.
I feel like being yourself is good enough, and never try to look good for another person, because none of that matters. But you should be great on your own and believe in yourself, and you'll be good enough. You know what I mean? But as I was saying, yeah, just believe in yourself. I'm the greatest, and that's why I say I am.
Yeah.
And if you believe you're the greatest, then you can be the greatest. You got what it takes, right?
Yeah, confidence.
Never give up. Have confidence and courage, and you feel me? What is it called? Just strive your hardest.
Persistence. As of recently, this is for them. As of recently, have us adults helped the movement getting closer to the end game, or are we still missing the mark? Can I just ask a little clarification on what you would define the end game as? Because
Probably
Wait, can you read it again?
as of recently, have us adults helped the movement getting closer to the end game, or are we still missing the mark?
Okay, I think adults might be missing the mark, but like it's not their fault. Like it's no one's fault really, just because we don't have the answer. We don't know the answer until like it's right there in front of us. So what can we do more? I don't really know.
I think we could take the steps. Adults could. It's like they know about it, but they don't take the action to take care of it. We could definitely get more people involved and like actually ask the questions like, what's making you feel this way? Rather than just talking about mental health, actually taking it seriously.
Yeah, I feel like we push off like the actual effects of mental health. Like we see something and we're like, oh, stop crying, stop worrying about it, toughen up. But that could actually be something that could be breaking somebody's spirit. And so it just evolves and evolves and evolves, and it gets worse and worse and worse.
Yeah, I feel like the problem is people never really take time out their day to actually try to address the problem, see the problem, and solve the problem. But that's the most important thing is recognition. First, you gotta recognize and see the problem or where people need help, and then how to help, and then you feel me? Stuff like that. How to help.
There's another broadcast or live stream going on later today, right?
Yeah, I think so.
That's for adults. So if you're interested in
Going on that,
that,
then
that
there
might
would be
have
like
some more
more.
answers
Yeah, because I feel like that one is more adult focused, while this one is just like
for you.
our perspective
Yeah.
rather than theirs. And we also have
To tweet with Tony, although we aren't hiring with the YAC, you can still contact us to be involved with our work. Email Kimberly Grayson, and she'll put her information and stuff in the chat.
yeah. There's another thing that it says by CHARGEDUPFILMS. As we begin a new generation, are we capable of living without social media?
I mean, probably.
I feel
But
like
would I prefer to?
okay. I feel like a lot of people wouldn't prefer to, but is it possible? Yeah.
Yeah.
Our parents lived without social media.
They
Our
have social
grandparents.
Our
media.
parents.
Yeah,
did.
our
Like, they
parents.
didn't have
They
social
didn't
media
have
till they were
social media.
grown.
You feel me? Like we don't need social media. We don't. Like, I feel like social media is nothing more than entertainment and a social image, honestly. But, yeah, I don't think anybody needs it. It's all just a want, not a need. Like, we can still be successful in life, still go to work every day, still take care of our kids, and go to school and work and all that without social media. We don't need any of those things, right?
I think it's a good resource, though, to be able to reach out and come together as a community. It's just how you use it. Like, I'm not allowed to have Instagram or Snapchat just because of the effects of how I've used it in the past. But if you have responsibility and an understanding of how it affects your daily life and not putting it on a pedestal of thinking that, oh, this is how I have to live, or thinking that, like, you can only go through your day looking through Instagram, looking through Snapchat, then I think it's a good resource. I feel like we could live without it, but I think it's positive, so I don't know why.
I agree. Like, just adding on, like, I like to think I have pretty good, like, social media boundaries that I've just, like, built for myself. And obviously, like, not everybody kind of just knows how to do that. So I guess just, like, teaching people could be a good answer. But social media is not all bad. It's kind of just, like, how you use it and how you, like, let it be in your life, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I completely agree. Like, I can't just say social media is the worst and it's all bad, because that'd be completely wrong. I'd be seeing, like, motivational speeches and stuff like that and prayers. I see good things on social media too, but most of it and what's mainly taking over social media is the bad things, but there's still good things inside of social media.
Thank you so much for joining us for this essential conversation. Please tune back in around 6 o'clock for the adult session. It will also include a conversation with a mother who lost her son to suicide. Hope to see you later. Bye, guys.
Everybody say their prayers after this. Bye, guys.
Oh, yeah. Bye.